The path to the end of suffering. $1,500 for a 7-day retreat plus travel. When we first encounter this, it can feel like a contradiction. The Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha, is said to be priceless, beyond all worldly value. And yet, in the West, we often find it has a price tag. The common misconception is that this is a business, that teachers are getting rich, or that centers are selling enlightenment. This can create a deep sense of cynicism and a feeling that the path is just another luxury good. But what if this isn't a story about greed, but a story about a cultural translation that hasn't been perfected? What if the problem is not the Dhamma, but the economics of the container it's being offered in? Welcome to the Mindful Compass. Today, we are asking a very practical and painful question. Why are so many Buddhist centers and retreats so expensive, and doesn't this create a paywall for the teachings? We'll look at the ancient model of Dāna, generosity, and how it collides with the modern Western economy. Why does this matter? Because if the medicine for suffering is locked behind a paywall, it's a profound obstacle. It challenges our sense of justice and the universal promise of the Dhamma. First, we must understand the original economic model of Buddhism. For 2,500 years, the Dhamma has been offered on the principle of Dāna. This is a profound, non-transactional generosity. In Asia, a lay community supports the monastics, the monks and nuns, with all their material needs: food, shelter, robes, and medicine. In return, the monastics dedicate their lives to the practice and offer the priceless gift of the Dhamma back to the laity. It is a beautiful, symbiotic relationship. The teachings are never for sale. Now, that system arrives in the West, a culture that does not have this widespread model. To make this intuitive, let's use an analogy. The Dhamma is like pure, life-saving water. In the traditional Dāna model, that water flows from a natural spring in the village, the temple. The spring is a shared resource. The villagers all freely contribute to maintaining the spring's well, and everyone can come and drink the water for free. In the modern Western model, we are trying to bring that same water to a city. To do this, we need a complex infrastructure, a water treatment plant, the retreat center, reservoirs, mortgages, a network of pipes, utility bills, insurance, property taxes, and skilled engineers to keep it all safe, the teachers and staff. The water, the Dhamma, is still priceless, but the plumbing, the container, is incredibly expensive. The fee for a retreat is not buying the Dhamma. It is a payment to help cover the mortgage, the electric bill, the food, and the health insurance for the lay teachers who, unlike monastics, are not supported by a culture of almsgiving. The paywall is a symptom of this deep cultural mismatch. So what is the negative side effect of this plumbing model? The side effect is real. It does create a paywall. It does make the path inaccessible to many, creating a Dhamma-gap based on income. It is a genuine problem. But the Dhamma itself offers the solution, and communities are remembering it. The how is a courageous return to Dāna. 1. Scholarship funds. Many centers with high plumbing costs use the fees from those who can pay to create large scholarship funds for those who cannot. 2. Sliding scales, offering a range of prices based on ability to pay. 3. The pure Dāna model. Many new and established centers are taking a radical leap. They charge nothing for retreats. They state the actual costs of the plumbing and then trust entirely in the generosity of the community to support them. They are, in effect, trying to build the natural spring right in the middle of the city. This brings us to our practice. The entire paywall problem is a product of a transactional mindset. I pay, I get. The antidote is to cultivate a generosity mindset, Dāna. This week, the practice is called the joy of giving freely. This isn't about money. It's about intention. Once a day, find one small, non-transactional opportunity for generosity. Let a car merge into traffic without feeling you lost a space. Give a sincere, specific compliment without wanting one in return. When a friend is talking, give the full gift of your undivided attention, not just waiting for your turn to speak. In these moments, you are practicing Dāna. You are breaking the paywall in your own heart and connecting with the true, free-flowing spring of the Dhamma. The Dhamma is not for sale. It is, and always will be, priceless. The high cost of the container in the West is a real and painful challenge, born of a different culture. But the solution is also in the Dhamma, the path of Dāna, of generosity. The medicine of the Dhamma is a gift. Our practice is to learn how to both receive it and, in our own way, to give it freely. What small opportunities for Dāna did you find this week? How did it feel to give without expecting a return? Please share your reflections in the comments below. Let's learn to build this spring of generosity together. Thank you for sharing this time, for walking this path with us today. May you be well, and may you discover the profound wealth that comes not from what we get, but from what we freely give.